You've created an amazing offer. Now I'm going to show you how to write an email marketing campaign that's going to help you earn more on that offer you already created. First, I'll show you how to speak directly to your audience. Next, I'll show you how to plan your campaign. Then I'll show you the secret to money-making emails. And finally, I'm going to give you the bonus secret that's going to attract more amazing people to your offer than ever before. So how do we speak directly to your audience? The first thing we want to do is clarify who they are, where they're at, and what it is that they want. Now, what they want and what they need might be a little bit different. We want to focus on what they want before we focus on what they need. People will buy what they want before they'll buy what they need. Now, you may know your audience really well, or you may think that you know your audience really well. One thing that you can do to clarify and get deeper on your audience, deeper than ever before, is taking it into ChatGPT. So basically what you're gonna say is, I want you to help me clarify my audience. I'm gonna tell you everything I already know about them, and I want you to go deeper. And when you think you've gone deep enough, go even deeper than that. I want you to go deep into their human psyche and help me identify what it is that they have in common, what it is that are their inspirations, their aspirations, what keeps them up at night, what bothers them, what upsets them, what makes them worried. We want to get a full picture of who they are. And then once we've done that, we want to go even deeper. And it's going to give you some ideas on who your audience is. And we want to say, now I want you to think about why that motivates them or why that matters to them. So if it's telling you, for example, oh, my audience wants to be a better parent. Well, why? Why does that matter to them? And we want to keep asking why until we get to that deep, like super in-depth reason. So for example, you might say, my audience wants to be a better parent. Okay, why does that matter? And you can say that to ChatGPT. Why does that matter to them? Well, they want to be a better parent because they feel like that's the right thing to do. Why? Well, because maybe they didn't have the best parenting example and they want to do better. Why? Because they feel like that's what a good person would do. Why? Because they see themselves as a good person. Why? Because, and we want to get till we can't ask why anymore. We get the same answer again and again. We want to figure out how to get to that identity level. Once you can get to that identity level, then you can speak to your audience more like the person they are and the person they aspire to be, instead of them feeling like they're just a number on your email list. This is how we build connections with our audience. In addition to that, you can also build connections with your audience by talking about the things that you like and do in your everyday life. A lot of times I'll talk about being outside or going to the springs because that's what I really like to do. Or I'll talk about my family. I'll talk about how I sometimes play D&D with my husband and really enjoy that. I'll talk about how I'm a terrible baker and getting better at that and how I'm practicing it, even though my biscuits still turn out really flat sometimes. The more we can connect with our audience and see them as a human they are, the easier it's going to be to make money from your email campaigns, and the easier it's going to be to make a difference in their lives. Once you clarify your audience, you want to get really clear on what their objections are, what their questions are, and where they might get stuck. Once you know that, it's going to be easier to write the emails and also easier to create an offer or edit an offer or add bonuses to an offer that speak directly to those objections so that it's easier for them to say yes to your offer instead of, not right now, it's not the right time, I need to talk to somebody, maybe later. If you've ever heard those, it's probably because there's an objection that hasn't been overcome yet. Next, you're going to plan your campaign around busting those objections and answering those questions. Every email you send in an email marketing campaign should cover one objection and one micro angle or one reason to buy. So for example, if I'm talking about an offer we have called the Instant AI Content System, the reason to buy might be they have content that they want repurposed. An objection might be, oh, I haven't had time to do it myself, or what if it doesn't work for me, or I've tried to get ChatGPT to sound like me and it doesn't. So in my emails, I want to address, hey, if you're somebody that has content, maybe it's emails, maybe it's Facebook posts, maybe it's blog posts, maybe it's old podcast episodes or Zoom videos that you've done with your team or trainings that you've done. If you have any of that kind of content, and you want to repurpose it, this is for you. And then I go into how it can help them. The next thing that I want to consider is what's that biggest objection? So maybe the biggest objection is they're worried it's not going to sound like them. And so then I show them how I can, in an instant, literally take any piece of content of theirs and make it sound like them in Facebook, Instagram, YouTube description, Instagram Reels, scripts, etc. It goes on and on and on. And so I show them how it can do that. So I'm answering their questions, I'm answering their objections, and I'm telling them, here's the reason that this is for you. Now, how I format in my emails is this: hook, human, question, and call to action. So the hook is something that's going to draw them in, that's going to keep them interested. Saying, hey boss babe, is not something that's going to make people like, oh, I want to read this email. Nobody's excited to read, hey there boss babe. Instead, I want to use a hook that talks about what they're going to get from the email, how it's going to help them, or even something interesting that's going to pique their curiosity. For example, if I said I was 3 seconds away from throwing my computer out the window, that might be something that keeps them reading, something that's interesting enough to stop their scroll. Next is the human side of it. So where's that connection piece coming in? What are the things that you can say that help them identify, oh, she's talking directly to me. She's talking directly to me because this is exactly how I feel. Or she's talking directly to me, or this is exactly for me because what she's describing, her life, how it used to look, or what she's describing sounds a lot like how my life looks like now. So for example, if I'm talking in an email about the instant AI content system, for example, and I'm saying, yeah, this is really great for parents who don't want to spend all day behind a computer, they might think, oh, that sounds like me. I don't want to spend all day behind a computer. So we want to add that human side into it. The next thing we want to add in is the question. So what question or objection might they have that would stop them from taking action on the next piece, which is the call to action? That's the step that we want them to take. So we want them to go to your offer. One of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to a call to action, they'll put in multiple calls to action, or they won't be clear. They'll try to make it cutesy and they'll say something like, just click right over here and I'll show you everything you need to know. And it's just not clear and to the point. Instead, we want to say something that leads with a benefit and talks about the offer. So that might look like, turn all your old content into a year's worth of new content with the instant AI content system. Click here to get it today. Very to the point, very clear, but also talks about the benefit there. Now, one thing you can do to make your emails really, really good and attract more of the same amazing people you already have in your programs is by having people fill out a survey when they come into your program. So as soon as they come in, have them fill out a form that talks about who they are, what their business is, or if you're doing B2C, what their life looks like, and ask them why they ended up joining this program. Have them tell you exactly why, and then you can use that in your other content material to attract more people just like those amazing people that are already in there. Now, creating an email marketing campaign can be a little bit complex, especially if you don't consider yourself a copywriter or an AI trainer. And so what I've done is combine my expertise to be able to show you how to earn more on your next launch with my free workshop, AI to 10K. My name is Brittany Long. Click the link that comes with this video to get AI to 10K for free today.